Good morning, and welcome to Wednesday. You have to forgive me. I just walked in the house, and it's hard. I walked in the house, and Kep's not at the door, so walking into the empty house is just difficult. Kep is alive. He made it through the night. They were really concerned about him last night, but he made it through the night. And they called me this morning around I don't know, 5:30 or 6. And they said that he had improved. They said, he's not stable, but he's doing better than he was last night. And I said, okay. I never said what I did. At the end of the vlog, I should back up. At the end of the vlog yesterday, I was in the parking lot. And I called Mel to wake her up and tell her what was going on. And that is a hard phone call. That was a very hard phone call. A necessary phone call, but a hard phone call. And she's on the same page. We both feel bad that she's not here. But she told me she really didn't want me to be alone last night. She urged me to go to Alex and Haley's place. And I had been telling Haley what was going on when I was there. She's the only person I told, besides Mao, obviously. And, she had told me, she's like, if you need anything, your number goes through even when I'm asleep. If you need to come over or anything, she said, or if you need us there, like, whatever. So, after I talked to Mao, I didn't really feel like going anywhere at that particular moment in time, so I laid the seat back in the car and I tried to sleep, kind of. I mostly just kind of laid there. And I did that for about an hour. And then finally I was like, I should go to their place. So I drove over to Alex and Haley's place and let myself in. And Haley came downstairs and we just chatted, and that was comforting. Like the person that I want most here is Mao, right? That's the person I need the most. But like second to Mao, Haley is a very comforting person, and it was nice to be able to just be there. So I slept in the guest bed there last night, and I got a few hours of sleep, which is good. Then I got the call from the vet this morning. So Kep's improving, not stable yet, not out of the woods. The vet wanted me to understand that, like, he can decline at any point. And I said, okay. She said at this point they're, pretty certain from all the information they've done, all the evidence they've seen, that it's congestive heart failure. So they are just doing what they can. And they said they would call me again in the afternoon. And I said, okay. So after that, I decided to come home. I need a shower. Like I feel gross, and I'd like to try and sleep in my own bed. So that's what I'm gonna do. I got some food I'm gonna eat. Get a shower. Just lay in bed. Hopefully I can sleep. I'm really tired. Like I've been still struggling with jet lag and struggling to like get enough sleep. So like I'm very tired. And this is, not getting much sleep last night just adds on to that. So I don't think I'm gonna have any problem falling asleep, at least I hope. I'm kind of past the point of worrying, because there's nothing I can do. Like I've done everything I could do. I got him there in time. I made the decision to do the stuff. It's expensive. But like, Kepler's like my son, like Mal and I don't have kids. We can't have kids. So, we treat our pets like family. I would do anything for them. And I'm just trying. And like I said before, if he survives all of this, he can live a life that's not, miserable. He won't live super, super long, right? Like the most we can hope for is like 1 to 2 years. And the vet warned me that it could very well be under a year. But, with medication and like just keeping an eye on him and kind of monitoring how he's doing, like he can be okay. His quality of life isn't like abysmal or anything. It's just that he needs really monitored. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm just like, let's do this thing, man. Let's push forward and see if we can get him through this and get Mal back here. And I don't know what his life is going to look like. It's too early to talk about any of that. And like right now, I don't even know he's coming home, and I can't worry about it because there's nothing I can do. I had a lot of trauma. I talked about it last night. I had a lot of trauma just making the decision to take him to the vet, putting him in the cage, putting him in the car, hearing him scream, and then also hearing him not scream, which that was, I guess, because he was breathing so quick. There were moments in the car where he was completely silent for like 30 seconds, which he does not do, and that was alarming. But like, because I've been through this with Sagan, there's absolutely some trauma there that I haven't had to relive, because that specific situation fortunately is pretty infrequent. So I didn't experience any of that until I got to the vet and was like, oh no. I don't struggle with the concept of losing Kepler. That's not like it. Is it sad? Yes. But like, I don't know. I don't have I'm more mentally prepared for that than the act of trying to get him there and get him care. Like that was traumatic, but the idea of like Kepler not being around, like I understand that because I have went through that before and it was hard. But I've done it before, and I've known that Kepler has health issues. This was always a possibility. It wasn't even a possibility. It was like an inevitability, really, because the odds of him just dying of old age with the health issues he had was like probably not going to happen. And while I don't love the timing of this, I also have to recognize that the timing could have been a lot worse. The vet told me that when I brought him in, if I wouldn't have brought him in, he would have died. And I just think back to, like Jeff and Dan took care of him for 2 weeks. And if this would have happened during that time, I mean, he probably would have been gone. One of them would have came over and he would have been gone. So I'm grateful for that. As bad as this situation is, there's a few things that I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to look for the good. Anyway, we're gonna see how things go this afternoon. We're gonna see how things go this evening, because I don't know. And then based on that, we'll make a decision about what Mal is gonna do. I don't want Mal to just rush home. Mal went down there to spend time with family, to spend time with her grandma, and that also is very important. The thing is, there's right this second, there's not really a reason to rush home, The best case scenario is that we can get through this, he survives this, and then we go to the next step of figuring things out. And by that point, Mal will be back, and then it'll be the two of us working together to make decisions and figure things out and get him, further care. But I do want her to spend time with her grandma and everything. And I have it under control. I've done everything I can, so yeah. Anyway, I'll keep updating folks. It's hard doing. I'm trying to be pretty transparent about this. It's very difficult to do what I do, to do the daily vlog when the nature of life is, death is sorrow. It's an inevitability. It's going to happen. And it's really difficult on a day like today where I'm currently filming this at the beginning of the day and I don't know how my day will end. I don't know if it'll improve. I don't know if it'll decline. And that's very difficult for me. But in an effort to be transparent and honest and give a realistic view into how I'm doing and what this situation is like. I mean, I'm talking about things now. And I'm just staying really hopeful that he'll pull through all of this. I am looking forward to hearing from the vet a little bit later on. It's raining. I managed to get a little bit of sleep. A few hours. I think a shower helped. It put me to sleep too. It's almost 3. They said they would call in the afternoon. And they said that was kind of ambiguous. So they didn't know exactly when they would call, but probably starting to get on the tail end of that. So I'm just waiting to hear something. the rain is nice. The rain finally stopped. Still no call, but no news is good news. It's about 3:45, and I got the update call. They said Kep is awake and alert. They said he had a pretty big appetite this morning. They said they fed him, and they said they didn't feed him enough because when he was done, he was giving them trouble to give him more food. So they gave him more food so he could eat more. His breathing is not coming down. When he went in last night, it was very bad. His breathing was like over 100, I guess, breaths per minute. And they got that down to the 50s, but it's like still in the 50s, and they can't get it lower, but they need to get it lower. So he's still on oxygen. They said he's in an oxygen box, on 40% oxygen there. They said that's about the most that they can give him. And they said that the problem with the heart is that it's linked to the kidneys. And they said if you're trying to fix one thing, you damage the other. And they said, they're trying to give him medicines and stuff. They said, but we're watching his kidney levels creep up. And they're like, one of the difficulties of this sort of thing is that, if you're trying to help the heart, you run the risk of putting the cat into kidney failure. And, they're like, we're keeping an eye on it. We're going to obviously try not to do that. But they really need Kepler they need that breathing to come down. He's got to, I guess, relax more. They said the ideal thing is that his breathing will come down, and then they can start to wean him off of oxygen, so he can be more stabilized. And he's just not there yet. So, I'm someone who, I like to have hope, but I also try to be a realist, and I'm still acutely aware that Kep isn't out of the woods, and things can go wrong. And I might be called in at any point to potentially say goodbye. And I have to make peace with that. And I largely have. Like, it's sad, but I'm not really worried. I'm not spending a lot of time worrying. I'm just kind of like, I've accepted the situation. The situation is what it is, and I'm, there's nothing I can do, so I'm just waiting for more information, waiting to see what happens. The house is quiet, though. The one variable that is different from when Sagan passed away, and I didn't even think about this, which might sound silly, but I didn't think about this until I got home this morning. And that is when Sagan passed away and we got home, Kep was there. So even though it was very hard to lose Sagan, there was a cat in the house, And we watched Kepler's personality change over the course of a few months as he, became the only cat. But coming home and there being no cat is very different. It's a very different experience. When Sagan had passed, we had, we shared everything on YouTube, and we had comments that from people that were like, you're going to think you see him around the corner or out of the corner of your eye, or you'll think you'll see his silhouette or anything. That never happened. That never happened to me at all in the 4 years he's been gone. However, walking into this house this morning, there's already been several instances where I'm like, oh, Kep. And that's strange. It's not even like seeing him necessarily. It's just like feeling his presence because I'm so used to doing that. Kep is the type of cat that's very dependent on me, or at least he has been since Sagan died. And because of that, and this is so weird because I guess I've just been subconsciously cognizant of this for years, and it's only now that I'm being made aware of it. But I'm always thinking about where Kepler is, because at any given time, he's probably near me. And I know where he likes to go, and I know what times of day he likes to go there. And because of that, there is just this bizarre presence or absence of presence in the home. And that's very strange, to be in the kitchen and you just very subconsciously look into the sunroom, or you feel like he's probably behind me in the kitchen on the floor. Based on where I am and the time of day, he's probably right here. And that just keeps happening because he follows me around. He spends almost all of his time with me. And it's very weird. Even it's happening now, and it's so subconscious I can't turn it off. I'm laying in bed and I just am expecting to hear the very tiny, him walking across the carpet and coming down around, because he will always come down around the bed and then stand next to the bed or jump up onto the nightstand. That's weird. That's the weird thing. So, yeah. The house is very quiet. And it's not even that Kepler made a lot of noise. It's just with no one else here. I'm not worried. I'm not even super sad. I'm just lonely. I'm just lonely. No news is good news. So, if I don't hear from them, that's great. And I shouldn't hear anything new until the morning. They wanted to stress, they're like, you can call anytime. They're like, most people end up calling before they go to bed because they need a little peace of mind. They said, so you can call at any time. You may not always be able to get hold of a vet, but someone from the staff will check on him and give you updates. But we'll hear something in the morning and see where he's at. Tonight, I think Haley's going to come over. I think we're going to go out and get some food and then just kind of chill, I guess, as a distraction. I don't need to be consoled. You know what I mean? I'm not, that's not where I'm at. It's not like I can't control my emotions and I'm crying. It's not that. I'm well past that. That's just kind of acceptance. But, it still would be nice to not be lonely. So I think I'm going to spend some time with her this evening. And, I don't think Mao, we've talked a little bit. I don't think Mao's going to come home until Saturday. And that's my hope, right? Is that she comes home Saturday, Kepler does fine, and then we're able to go from there. If anything changes, there's not a chance that Mao could get home in time. I could get there and I could see him. if something suddenly bad happened. But Mao couldn't. And I think we're kind of making peace with that because, again, you have to remember, like, Mao is in Florida getting a chance to see her 96-year-old grandmother. And, like, that is extremely important, Hard situation. I'm going to try and take a little more of a nap and then get up and figure out dinner.
Haley, this isn't Thai.
Well,
Did we mess up?
I tried.
Well, no, that's shrimp and noodles. So wait, this must be Thai. Never mind. I was wrong.
I didn't film anything with Haley here, but we spent the evening chatting, and it wasn't even really about Kepler. I mean, a little bit, but like not most of it. I think I just needed a distraction more than anything. I was talking earlier about being lonely, and it's hard. Like, it's not that Kep made noise, but there's just like a presence, and it's so weird to not have him here. I took Haley home. I considered getting an ice cream cone on the way home. I don't know. Like, I took her home, and then I was like, what if I stopped by a McDonald's? And then I decided that every McDonald's on Earth's ice cream machines are broken, so it's not worth my time. But there was a brief moment where I was like, that would be nice. Just have a little something sweet for me for going through all of this. I think I have some ice cream here. I could have some ice cream if I wanted to. So this evening, they weren't going to give us any update. Like, they're like, we'll call you in the morning. But they had said, if you want an update, you can call. And if you call, we'll always be willing to, give you an update. So Mal called because she can do that, and it doesn't matter if she's in Florida or not. Like, at the place they called me Dad. That's what they did, because the pets are our children, so they called me Dad. So they called Mom, or Mom called them. Mallory called them from Florida, and Mal, after she got off the phone with them, talked to me and said they didn't have numbers for this, because earlier it was like Kepler's reading was 100 and then it got to 50, which is good. So they didn't have numbers for this, but they said it was improving. And I'm like, that's good. They said that there wasn't a lot of information, but it was like his breathing is improving and he is eating. And that's good. Like, I can't say anything else, about that. Like, it's good. That's objectively a good thing. So, good. Good. I look forward to hearing in the morning what's next. It's one final thing. Yesterday, before all of this went down, I did a stream of Loco Roco, because Mal and I had tried to stream it in like January 2020. Never got to do it because it made Mal motion sick. So I finally started it yesterday. I was planning to do it today as well, and then obviously some things happened. So I didn't do any sort of stream today, and that was good. I needed to just not. I think I'm going to do breakfast stream in the morning, though. I feel okay. I would feel different if the news had been different with Kep, but since it seems like he's doing better, I'm feeling okay, and I think I'm going to do that in the morning. Sometimes I think when you have stresses or tragedy or just difficult things in your life, the sense of normalcy helps so much. And, you know, the normalcy of like, hey, every Tuesday and Thursday morning I do breakfast stream. I think that sort of routine, that normal feeling is helpful. So I think I'm going to get up and do that. And then after that, we'll see where my day goes. I have no idea. Like, if I feel like working, cool. If I feel like sleeping, cool. If I feel like driving out somewhere and taking a long walk, cool. Like, I give myself a pass to do whatever it is it seems like Steven needs at the time, because this is just all a lot. It's a lot. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I am very tired, which is great. Because the one thing I was not looking forward to was like spending the night here. You know, I did okay by myself in the daytime, and then obviously in the evening I was chilling with Haley, and that was helpful. And now that she's gone, and it's like you have to go to bed, I'm glad that I'm tired, so I can just go to bed, because I don't want to just like sit and exist in the empty house by myself. So the faster I can go to sleep, in my opinion, the better. Yeah. Okay. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?